Vice Chancellor, Sir, registered faculties and scholars. A very good morning, everyone. I, Dr. Shweta, on behalf of ICFI University, Jharkhand, welcome you all to this beautiful day and the beginning of a new journey. We welcome a fresh batch of 22 new faces, new scholars into the PhD program. This inaugural session embarks the beginning of a new journey. We congratulate these new faces who have successfully cleared the hurdles and stepped into this new batch or new world. मैं हम सब ICFI यूनिवर्सिटी झारखंड की तरफ से आप सभी जितने भी हमारे यहाँ पे नए स्कॉलर्स आए हैं उनका तहे दिल से स्वागत करते हैं और अभिनंदन करते हैं और यही प्रार्थना करते हैं कि जो जर्नी आज से शुरू हुई है, जितनी सुखद ये जर्नी अब होने वाली है या हो रही थी, जितनी कठिनाइयां थी मार्ग में वो खत्म हो जाए और आने वाला समय जो है वो आनंद भरा रहे, सुखमय भरा रहे. Once again, with these words, I congratulate all of you on behalf of ICFI University Jharkhand, and we all welcome you with our full heart to the IUJ family. It is our undying tradition to begin or to embark a new journey with the prayer of the Almighty. I request everybody to come together for a prayer song. I request Payal Chaudhary. He is a student of BA Journalism at ICFI University Jharkhand. I request Payal to please sing a prayer song for us. Payal.
मन की वीणा से गुंजित घड़े मंगलम स्वागतम 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 मन की वीणा से गुंजित मंगलम स्वागतम 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 ऐसा पावन सुहावन आज है आप आए किस तरह ऐसा आज है आप आए अतिथियों की सरताज है देव की भांति पूजन करे आज हम स्वागतम 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 मन की नाद से गुंजित घड़ी मंगलम स्वागतम स्वागतम.
Thank you so much, Payal, for this song. I would now request our Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor O.R.S. Rao, Sir, to please welcome the gathering. Please, sir.
Professor Arvind Kumar, our registrar, Dr. Rumna Bhattacharya, the PhD coordinator, my dear faculty members, and dear the scholars, the PhD scholars. Sorry, I forgot to mention Dr. Hariharan. Dr. Hariharan is there. In fact, all my beloved 2020 batch scholars, my hearty welcome to all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. And my welcome is not only to the ICFI University Jharkhand, but also to the ICFI family. As you are all aware, ICFI family is a fairly large family with 11 universities and 7 IBS business schools and a whole lot of things across the country. At the outset, I congratulate all of you on your selection to our prestigious PhD program in management. As Dr. Shweta Singh was mentioning, it has not been an easy journey for some of you, and you had gone through various hurdles, or rather I should say they were all the stepping stones for your success. You have succeeded in cracking the research aptitude test. Then after that, you have gone through the interviews, some of them possibly, like in fact, some of you must have been cursing me or some of my colleagues, for the grueling interviews that you have gone through. And at the end, you have been successful. I think that is very, very, very important. Very important. And all of you, like I have seen that you are all very intelligent, highly talented, highly experienced, and highly accomplished people. All of you have seen, like one by one, we have seen that we have interviewed and we talked to you. You are all self-made people, and you have risen to very senior roles in very reputed organizations through sheer hard work. Yes, intelligence can be the raw material, but ultimately the most important thing is the hard work. All of you have worked very hard to reach the positions. So in fact, starting with people at the kind of a middle management level, we have got with us the CEOs in our batch today. And the common thing, while I have seen a lot of diversity among all of you, the common thing I have seen among all of you is, despite your positions, despite your responsibilities, you are all very passionate. You are so passionate to do research, and you are so committed to work hard. In fact, a common question that we have asked every one of you was, with your role, with your responsibilities, how will you find time to do PhD? At the came the answer saying that yes, we can find time. In fact, we got the answer saying that we'll find time in the night, we'll find time during the weekends. We were really impressed. In fact, let me share with you that that was one factor that we considered while selecting our students for the 2020 batch. Apart from the intelligence, research aptitude, the hard work, what is important is the sustenance. In fact, as a matter of fact, the credit for this, including this factor, goes to nobody other than Dr. Hariharan. In fact, he was the one, after he has been with our journey for the last so many years, like we've been seeing, the initial enthusiasm is there, but the enthusiasm has to be sustained. That is something important. It's not a journey for one day, it is a journey for a few years. For that, the important thing is you need to sustain that level of enthusiasm and the kind of passion for that. So that is where we have seen that sort of all of you in this batch, we noticed that you have got that sustained interest and sustained passion, and you can have a marathon journey. It's not just a small journey of something like 110 meters, but it's a marathon journey with it's a journey with obstacle race. So that's something that I think all of you must be happy that you have come out sort of a successful, and you have come to the sort of a start of the competition into that after the shortlist. Then our PhD program is considered to be one of the best such programs in India for the working professionals. In fact, we don't advertise, as you can see. All this, like in fact, most of you have come through word of mouth. And it's primarily because of the rigor of the program. It is a very serious program, and we want to get the best out of you as far as the research is concerned. We comply with all the norms and guidelines of the UGC. The UGC guidelines of 2016. In fact, as a matter of fact, some of these guidelines we have been following much before that. And in fact, what we do is, we do things, much better than that. And the second thing that differentiates us from the other programs of even the leading other universities is, our student focus, our focus on the scholars. You might have been seeing right from the time, you were thinking of, having a journey with us, starting with, your application. And we noticed that, some of you did face some problems because of the internet, and we are not into that. We facilitated you. And similarly, like in fact, as far as the conduct of the research aptitude test is concerned, particularly those of you that have been seeing the press, so many of the entrance tests, they are being postponed, like including the IIT JEE. It was supposed to be sometime July, now September, we don't know. NEET test has been postponed and being postponed a lot more time. So many exams are being cancelled, like in India today, like whether the class 10, class 12, so many exams are being cancelled. Despite all that, we decided to conduct the test. And at the same time, understanding the problems and issues and challenges that you are facing, we allowed all of you to take the test from home. Possibly, like in fact, let me tell you that a test of this type, normally that kind of a thing is not allowed to be taken from home. But at the same time, we have noticed that it was a remote proctor test. In fact, we would have seen that it is driven by artificial intelligence, so much so that it was watching every movement of yours. And like we have got a recording of every one of you. In fact, we commit to you that we are going to publicize that. We will not publicize. There is a privacy that is there into that. Like starting with your sitting posture, what all you have done during the test. It is recorded every 30 seconds. And not only that, like in fact, every movement of yours was analyzed using artificial intelligence. And our invigilators sitting, with a dashboard, they were able to see, they were also getting the alerts as to if there are some significant movements in you into that. But at the same time, accepting possibly only one person who might have alerted, we didn't alert all of you. That is where a human judgment comes. And that is where when we talk of artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence continues to be still artificial. It's not a human intelligence. But despite that, yes, I can tell you that we have done with all the rigor of proctoring. Because as though we have been doing it, in a classroom, or earlier, the same test we used to do it, in the internet centers under strict supervision. But this time, let me tell you that this is for the first time we experimented. And we were also anxious until last moment, what can happen, what cannot happen. And this test was conducted in such a way that even in between, the internet fails, still you could conduct the test. Because the entire question paper resided in cache. And all the answers reside in cache. It's you don't know where it is residing into that. I think that is how we have conducted the test. Similarly, in the normal course, we would have asked all of you to come to our campus for the personal interviews. There again, considering the COVID-19 situation, we have conducted the test from wherever you are. You are from office, you are from home, wherever it is, we said we'll conduct the interview. And in some cases, we have gone as per your convenience. We said, what a meeting, we said, yes, we'll conduct it as per your convenience. Morning to evening, we have conducted. And a small, a few glitches here, there would have come. In fact, so much so, like in fact, in a few cases, like on the first day when they couldn't log in, particularly in the case of Mr. Jubair, we have seen, because we know where he is residing. He is residing in Jammu and Kashmir. There are internet problems are there. They want access only to the 2G, and there are a lot of issues that are there. We empathize with him. He tried to connect on the first day, he had problems, and on the second day, he had small issue. Despite that, yes, we allow them to conduct this. I think that is something that yes, that is where that differentiates us as compared with somebody else, in the sense that we have got that empathy, and we are we understand your challenges, issues into that, and we are there to facilitate and support you in your journey. We don't want to create obstacles, and you would have noticed that we are very responsive. We are not bureaucratic, but at the same time we don't compromise quality and regularity. I think that is where you notice that ICFA University Jharkhand, it has made a mark for itself. Let me honestly tell you, we are not Harvard, we are not IIMs, but there was something that differentiates us when compared to Harvard or the IIMs. That is the empathy, that is the kind of the kind of understanding with which we work and we support you. I think that's where we come from it. So then coming into, as far as today's scholars are concerned, so these scholars, they come from different backgrounds, and they have come from different industries, and here today we have got 22 scholars, and they have come from across the country. While the test we conducted was in 27 locations, and all of you, the scholars, you came from 11 locations, starting with Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad, Calcutta, Mumbai, Patna, Ranchi, Srinagar. For the first time, we have got a person coming from Jammu and Kashmir and Surajpur in Chhattisgarh. And they come from very reputed organizations working in very senior roles like All India, Future Retail, IBS Business School in Calcutta, JP Morgan Chase, Jammu Kashmir Bank, JSW Cement, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Mobility, NIT Technologies, name it. Reserve Bank of India. In fact, Reserve Bank of India practically in the last 5 years, in every batch we have got a person coming from RBI at the level of Chief General Manager. Then TCS, etc. And then in this batch, along with the person that got selected from this batch, as I mentioned, Simi Dev, she the European head for cyber security and risk management in IBM London. She joining this program, I think possibly today morning, like she could not join, but she'll be joining later.
No, sir, she has joined, sir.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. No, in fact, I'm really delighted, Simi. In fact,
yes, sir. I was a little late.
Simi is a person that works for, in fact, for all the clocks in the world. In fact, let me tell you that all of us work for the Indian clock. And, there's a lady, I think, in fact, I learn a lot from her, She works for the clock starting from the Australian clock, going up to something like, Singapore, India, Middle East, the kind of the entire Europe, going up to the what you call Eastern Standard Time and Central Western Standard Time. The entire clock she walks into that. Simi, in fact, I'm delighted, delighted that you joined us into that. In fact, she's a sort of a lady with, a lot of energy and the bounce into that. I'm really delighted, Simi, that you have joined us.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
So,
I was a little late though.
No, not at all. We understand, it is very, very early in the morning, getting up at 3:30. After going to bed at 12 o'clock, at 12:30, getting up at 3 o'clock, is not easy at all. We really appreciate that. And out of these 22 scholars, 20% are women, and we are keen to increase that, the gender and disparity is there. That is something we want to increase that. In earlier batches, it used to be a little bit higher. And 15%, 3 of the scholars from this batch are from the academics, and the balance are from industry. In fact, that is another thing that is the hallmark of our program. Typically, most of the research programs, you notice that more than 80-90% of them are academicians. But the academicians, like if they do a PhD, it's life made for them, particularly in the Indian context, as per the UGC norms, if somebody is a PhD, like, that is the passport for their academic success. Like, in fact, they can become, assistant professor, associate professor, it's a kind of a non-stop journey they can have. After that, you keep on publishing, I think, sky's the limit. But those of us coming from the industry, like, in fact, that incentive is not there. That as a matter of fact, I empathize with all of you because, I come from industry. I spent 27 years of my experience in IT industry, and most of the time in the HCL Technologies and GMR Group and, various companies. And I do understand, as far as the industry is concerned, industry is not kind. And if you do PhD, they say it's for you. They say industry is not benefited. But in the academics, you get benefited into that. And last about 15 to 16 years, by 16 years, for the last about 18 years, I have been in the academics. So I understand both the worlds. So that being the case, we are really proud that, like all of you define the kind of gravity and the norms and, the working situation challenges and doing the PhD is not an easy thing at all. Sort of 85% of it coming from there into that. And also sort of, people like Simi Dev, with so many responsibilities across the kind of, the world into that. And as far as the industries they come from, all of you come from, agribusiness, that is from the kind of tea plantations, banking, not only commercial banking, but also supervisory banking like RBI, financial services, coal, cement, logistics, government, IT services, retail, name it. In fact, some of these sectors I have not put. And we also have got, in this batch, some of the entrepreneurs. Typically for an entrepreneur, it's very, very difficult, for a person to think and say, I want to do PhD. Like typically most of the entrepreneurs are after money and business. Like in fact, we have got a great entrepreneur that want to do PhD and contribute to the kind of management. And all of you come from different functions of management, and the experience levels for this batch ranges from 6 to 29 years. average being 17 years. In fact, earlier batches also, our experience levels and average experience levels used to be ranging from a 13 to 15 years. This batch, I should say, I think relatively it is more mature when compared with the earlier batches in terms of the average experience. The diversity, that is in terms of the demography, industry, functions, geography, all of that, that's the strength of our program. And it is a major strength of the program because as scholars who stand to get benefited, you can learn a lot from your peer group. Because, let me tell you that, that is why the Harvard is cherished. That is the reason why ISB is cherished. Because apart from the teachers, you learn a lot from the peers. They come from different industries, different experiences. That is something that you can learn a lot. And I do understand that, considering current situation, to bring together this kind of a networking, is a challenge for us. But all the same, we are trying our best. Like in fact, our team has created a WhatsApp group. I have been seeing a hectic activity. Like in fact, last night I saw activity going up to 11:30, 11:45. So I said that, I cannot be left far behind. I saw some messages saying that, how I wish that I know who are all the participants, what are the names and where from they are coming. Then immediately I went on to my laptop, because I got all the data. I created a spreadsheet and, converted into a PDF and, shared it. And immediately today morning at 5:35, I get a response saying that, that's what I'm looking for. And Mr. Raja Ghosh, early in the morning, he gives a response. So this is what we are looking for.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So, in fact, that is where you notice that, it's a very responsive organization. 24/7, we are there, with you, wherever you are and whatever you want into that. I think that is what we endeavor to do that, And, I can assure you that this kind of thing will continue to be there. And come to think of it, to conduct, these classes from 8 to 10, do you think it's easy? For some of it was difficult to get up. For our faculty members, it's a big challenge. Please understand that, like most of us, including me, we are doing this from home. And please understand that, like internet bandwidth issues are there, family issues are there, in my case, of course, my children are not at home, only my wife is there. And for some of our faculty members, their children are there. And some of them, maybe, in between, like they're getting up and you want to take care of them. Despite that, as an organization, all our faculty members were very kind. Let me tell you that, this initiative and we have taken that, yes, why we are doing the classes from 8 to 10 and the evening is, earlier the scholars were forced to come to our campus, taking leave, spending money. They have to come and stay there in some hotels or some other accommodation. And, but now because of this situation, yes, we are taking it home. What we thought is we wanted to give you one more facility that, some of the offices are working. Possibly if you live in Maharashtra, other places, the unlocked one has been there. And some of you have to go to offices. What we thought was, instead of applying for leave for 10 days, we thought that if you can give the facility in the morning and evening, possibly it may not all of you, at least 80-90% of you will get benefited. Am I right or not? I would like to hear from you.
Yes, absolutely, sir.
Absolutely, sir.
If our assumption is wrong, we stand corrected. Because as
Perfect. I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you.
Yeah, we make certain assumptions and sometimes if our assumption is wrong, we stand corrected. So in fact, Mr. Jubair, I understand he's a CEO in the Jammu Kashmir Bank. Like in fact, maybe instead of going to office at 9:30, possibly half an hour late.
Yes.
Evening, possibly, like in fact, if it is possible, I saw some, messages saying that, sir, 6 baje mushkil hota hai, 6:30 baje kar dijiye. Because we can't change it for everybody. Please understand that, we try to see the convenience of most of you. It may not be the convenient for 100% of you. So that is where what we require is your cooperation and your understanding into that. And that is what we are trying to do. So, and another advantage, another strength of our program is, typically if you see in the business schools, when you do the PhD program, they ask you right in the beginning, in which domain you want to do it. Is it marketing? HROB, operations management, or where you want to do finance, where you want to do. You have to choose right there. What we noticed was in the industry as the working professionals, you want to work on live problems that have been seeing around. And we have seen the live problems, they don't come in domains. A problem will not come and tell you, hey, I have a marketing problem and I have a finance problem. ऐसा नहीं होते हैं. All the problems they come, they are all interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. A problem को आपको सुलझना है तो you want to play all of them. I think that being the case, our CJ University, right from the beginning, we said the topic selection is left to the scholar. In a lot of universities, I can tell you, in the traditional universities, the topic is decided by your supervisor. Whereas in our university, the topic is decided by you. It is just like something like it's not an arranged marriage by the elders into that. It is your own love marriage. What you love, what you are passionate about, because you are going to be living with this topic, for the next 3-4 years. There, a supervisor cannot come and dictate and say that work on this topic, because these are not that kind of times into that. So there, depending on your industry, depending on your interest, we want to leave the choice to you. Initially, you may come with some topics, it may not be researchable. The university, all the supervisors, we are there to convert that, to shape that into a researchable topic, an academic researchable topic. And I have seen when you have presented that time, some of the kind of topics are more like, writing an article. Some of them are like something like a consulting project or something like a small assignment. But we are there to help you to convert them into a researchable topic. And we are not to discourage you at all. Instead of discouraging you, we are there to facilitate you, to help you to convert to this topic. So that ultimately at the end of 3 years or 4 years, you should be so happy that you contributed. The society must be happy, academics must be happy, the entire world must be happy, your family must be happy. Sort of my papa, my grandpapa has contributed so much into that. I think that is what we are very keen. You should have that kind of, a satisfaction that you contributed something. And I say problem leke up to, you have shown the way out into that. I think that is what we are way out into that. Let me tell you, a week back on 6th, we had our research advisory committee meeting, a council meeting. In that, we have got a very senior seasoned person from IIM Ranchi. That time, every time we raise this issue and say that, every time we ask our, research advisory council, sir, what are the best practices in IIMs? Is there something what we can learn? That time I raised this issue and asked him, how many of your research scholars work on interdisciplinary topics? He asked what? I said interdisciplinary topic. He said, no, they have to choose one of the domains. This is the answer we get, from all the leading management institutions. And that's where we stand apart. 28 scholars in the last, from the time we started, about 9 years back, got PhD. 2012, we started our PhD program. 2013, they have registered. Typically taking that, maybe it will take at least a minimum of 3 to 4 years. Maybe from 2016, we started awarding our, the PhD award. In the last about 5 years, we have awarded 28 PhDs. It's not a small achievement. But let me tell you that most of them are in interdisciplinary. And now we have got, something like 71 active scholars that are pursuing PhD. Totally, we have got a figure of 99. Out of this 99, 37% of the scholars are pursuing research in the interdisciplinary areas. Possibly, you will not see this kind of bias in favor of the interdisciplinary topics. Possibly, I'm saying, in India, in Indian business schools or Indian university. Maybe it may be happening internationally. We have not done the benchmarking. That is another area where our PhD program stands out and different from the PhD programs of the other universities, giving and allowing you that kind of freedom and latitude to work on the topic of your choice into that. And that is also shows our own passion to see that the research takes place in the relevant areas. In fact, we are not sort of keen on getting PhD in also ran type of a thing into that. And also let me tell you, out of the 28 scholars, the first scholar that got PhD, we take really pride in him, is Mr. Ramnesh Singh. Mr. Ramnesh Singh, he used to be working in Microsoft in India in Bangalore. Subsequently, he got transferred to Redmond and he continued to pursue his PhD there. And this gentleman had got the distinction of getting the PhD in the shortest possible time. Please understand that Microsoft is not a kind of organization, kind in the sense that, I'm not talking of being, friendly or being, kind to the people. It's a very demanding organization. Being at the level of something like a director there, he pursued that into that, and just then he shifted to US, and within something like, 6 to 7 months of shifting to US, he submitted his PhD, and still it holds the record as one of the best PhDs that the university has awarded. And right now, he's the global director in the Amazon Web Services. Why I'm giving you that example is, that means that busy people that are hard-pressed kind of for time and kind of any relation into that, these are the people that can turn out the best PhD. That's a stunning example. And here, we have seen so many of our other scholars, they belong to the category into that. If we could do that, why not all of us? Do you agree or not? That means that as long as you have got intention to do that, you can do it. You can do it. What all required is the kind of intention and the determination to that, not anything else into that. Then, sort of coming to, as far as the kind of our PhD program is concerned, sort of PhD program, it is mandated that you have to go through the coursework. The coursework in our university, we have divided into 2 parts. This is called the coursework 1. And in this coursework 1, again for the first time, we are conducting, through online. Please bear with us, for us also it's the first experience. When I saw some of the feedback that was coming on this Swadhyay, I mentioned to our own, the PhD scholars. For the first time we are experimenting. It's 3 months old. We want to refine that. Sort of the same is the case with conducting this program online. And we started our Swadhyay and also the online learning about 3 months back. And initially with our students, when we started off, we have uploaded the entire, the course content. Then after that, we were taking online lectures. Now we have moved to the Swadhyay 2. In Swadhyay 2, the difference is, the first thing is like, our, the entire program we are orienting towards a outcomes-based learning. Because outcomes-based learning is the new approach whereby the entire learning is directed on the basis of the outcomes that are expected into that. The second thing what we are doing is, instead of conducting online lectures, like we try to understand and how to engage and interact with our scholars and students, and on how to make our students participate. That's where we learned a lot of things. We learned from Harvard Business School. Harvard Business School, they shared their own experiences, saying that yes, sort of their own faculty did not teach online, but still they learned. Some of those experiences which kind of they are all available. We went through some of the webinars. We tried to kind of do some research on what are the tools that we can use. On the basis of that, we put together this program totally on the basis of our own knowledge and experience. We didn't take the experience of anybody from outside, no other consultant at all. My own team, we have got Dr. Sujupta Majumdar, Professor Shukla Ji, Professor Amar Gupta. These are the kind of faculty members that put together this program on how to engage you interactively and make it interesting. That is where this Swadhyay 2, what we are doing is different to that. And starting as far as the kind of the journey as far as we are concerned, like now we are having a coursework 1. In the coursework 1, what we are trying to kind of achieve is, we want to tell you what is research and what research is not. Then we want to tell you on how to prepare a research proposal, a synopsis into that. Then after that, what is the research methodology? What are the tools that can be used for the research? And some hands-on kind of experience we want to give you on tools like SPSS so that we can do the analysis. And for the first time this time, like going by our own experience, we realized that there's a diversity of students. Because of that, some of you may not be fully conversant with some prerequisites, particularly like statistics. So because of that, this time we uploaded some content on the statistics. The probability theory may not require so much, but you need some fundamentals of statistics, because it may not be possible to cover all of that in our course one. Because of that, some content we have uploaded. And there was some kind of a question that came on the WhatsApp, like, please give us priority. What are the chapters we have to go through in advance? Because unfortunately, we could not send it to you earlier. We would have loved to send it to you earlier, but we could not do that. And now, please go through that. And, during the kind of, the next, 10 days, maybe some statistics, some chapters we can get covered. So if you can go through that at your convenience, that will help you a lot. There we talk of the fundamentals of the statistics into that. Similarly, like, we expected, all the scholars to understand the fundamentals of what is the research methodology. So much so that if you notice that in the research aptitude test, the first part of that is on the research aptitude. And when I saw the performance of all of you, I noticed that, most of you have gone through some stuff on that. All the same, we also uploaded some content with regard to the research methodology. You can sort of refresh yourself so that, that is something that will come in handy as we move forward into that. And now, as far as the coursework one is concerned, yes, earlier we used to do it in a shorter time because it used to be, morning to night program. But now, because every day we are doing it on 4 hours, on the weekdays, Monday through Saturday, we are taking the liberty of, taking more time of yours on the Sundays. My apologies to your family, because, Sunday normally you would like to spend time with family, but, this next Sunday, I think, you may have to be prepared to spend time with us. We don't have a choice because, we have to compensate on that day. And, once you complete this, yes, there will be some assignments during the course of this, there will be some exam. When you are, please understand and appreciate you are a student. Irrespective of your age, irrespective of your experience, and irrespective of your position. A student, is something that, he has to go through teaching, he has to go through teaching, and something compulsory for student is exam, isn't it? So, just like they say, democracy, what is mandatory is elections. Similarly, as far as the student is concerned, आपको विकल्प नहीं है. You have to go through, a exam into that. You will go through that exam. Don't get very much worried onto that. So then we'll give you some time. In this time, we also expect you to do some more self-reading. We expect you to go through some programs, like some MOOC programs, either through SWAYAM or edX or Coursera. Some programs, like in fact, some courses, you can go through so that you can strengthen your knowledge in them. Then we'll have coursework 2. The coursework 2 will have sometime in the month of November. Hopefully by the time, if the COVID-19 subsides, maybe I think we can meet every one of us, and we physically we meet. And we pray to God for that. But of course, at this point of time, we really don't know what it is into that. And, yes, maybe we are prepared either way on how to do that. And then once you complete the coursework 2, the focus will be onto the management domains. Lot more onto the management domains, what is happening, what is the kind of research that is happening in each one of them. Then again, if you compare with the coursework of the traditional universities, what happens is, because they force you to think much in advance in what domain you want to do, they take you deeper and deeper into the concerned domain. Whereas in our case, because we want you to work on the interdisciplinary work, we want to take you through all the domains. We want to take you through sort of marketing, finance, operations, strategy, and IT. All of them we want to take you, so that we believe that that will come in handy. When you want to do the research, and at that point of time, you should have some glimpses of all of them on what is the research that is taking place into that. I think that is another thing that happens as well. The coursework 2 is over. And what we do is, starting from the time you applied and going through your interview, and now we force you to facilitate you to start thinking what is the area and topic on which you want to work. And we do understand that, like in fact, it takes time. It has to evolve. So this is a process that will continue. Through coursework 1, it will continue up with coursework 2. but we'll go deeper and deeper into that. In coursework 1, we'll also tell you on how to select a research topic. Some guidelines we've given into that. We also give examples of our earlier the PhD scholars into that. So on the basis of that, you can keep on fine-tuning. And then by the time you come to complete the coursework 2, we expect that you have come to a 60, 70%, 80%, maybe you got a really good clarity into that. It's at that point of time we allocate a research supervisor from our university. And then the research supervisor and yourself, you work together to fine-tune that. The core of the topic may remain the same, but the supervisor will help you to fine-tune, facilitate, and see that to give it a better shape so that it becomes a researchable topic. The supervisor also will facilitate you on how to prepare a nice proposal. And then, like you will defend it, you have to present it to us, to the research board, sometime in the month of April, May of 2021. At that point of time, there will be one-to-one kind of meeting, but anybody can participate in that. Then you go through grilling again. Then we finalize the topic. Then we give you some suggestions, improvement. Then you give a revised kind of a topic and proposal. Then possibly sometime in the month of June or so, June, July, इसको तो finalize हो जाएगा. Then we'll say you are registered for PhD with the topic. That is the reason why certain terminology you need to understand. Currently, you have registered, it is called a provisional admission, what you have done. You have got a provisional admission for the PhD, and when you register for the topic, then you are registered for the PhD with the topic. And then that is the topic on which you start working and pursuing that. Why I'm explaining to you is, and I think some of you may be confused. Mera selection ho gaya, why are you talking provisional? Because it is provisional, because it is the provisional to the PhD. But unless a topic is there, registration is not complete. It's not like other programs. It's not like MBA program or a BTech program or a BBA program. In this program, you got to be tied into your topic. Only then we call it a registration into that. So, and talking with regard to the kind of the program and this thing into that, as I mentioned, a PhD program is not a fixed tenure program. I think most of us have got an impression that like in schooling, maybe I do something like class 10, 1 साल में खत्म हो जाएगा. I go for BTech 4 साल में खत्म होगा, BBA 3 साल में, MBA 2 साल में खत्म हो जाएगा. Whether you like it or not, course is there, exam is there, हो जाएगा. PhD is not like that. PhD is not a fixed tenure program, but it is a program with fixed goals. The goal is you want to produce a quality research as per the norms and standards of what is a PhD. So this being the case, like depending on the efforts that you put in, maybe normally like in fact as per the UGC norm, it is a minimum of 3 years, and 3 साल में खत्म कर सकते हैं, 4 साल में खत्म कर सकते हैं. But normally what we have seen is the 28 scholars that he completed, the average time that they have taken to complete was between 3 to 4 years. Roughly it is a 3 point something like 6-7 months. Some people have done it a little bit earlier. Some people have taken 4 years, 5 years also. Because some people, because of the job relocation and various things, something got delayed. But all the same, I think that is what into that. So now the important thing is, now that you have embarked on a very enticing and very exciting journey, all of you need to have a clarity in your mind. This journey, apart from your excitement, it requires a commitment of your time, because it's easier to commit money, but it's more difficult to commit time. And you have to produce some time from your own this thing, and you have to create some more time. If you are sort of right now, maybe let's say your working hours are awakening hours are maybe 15 hours, you have to make it 16 hours. So you have to produce some time, and you have to commit minimum time of at least 3 to 4 hours or more per week. You do it on a daily basis, you do it on a weekly basis, how you do it, because you have to do that. If you don't do that, you will not be successful. And what will you do in this time? You got to read. Most of us as working professionals, we didn't have time to read. And we need not read at all. Our organizations expect results. They are least bothered whether we read or not. But if you are getting into a PhD program, you have to read. People have done pioneering work in the past. We have to find time to read. We don't have a choice. And you have to read with a view to kind of absorb, not to write an exam. You have to read. After reading, you have to reflect. Because you got to sort of think through on what is that I read. Because this is totally different reading when compared with whatever reading we have done in our school days and college days. And reading with them, not simply with the level of understanding, reading with a sense of reflection to that. Because you got to make use of that in your research. Then after that, you have to do research. You have to pursue to that. Research is not simply kind of, means searching again into that. That means that if you want to search again, you should know what has happened. That is where the reading and reflecting comes. And apart from the kind of reading, reflecting and researching, you have to start writing. Most of us in the industry, we are not forced to write. At the best, in the meetings, we are supposed to make presentations. I am with one of you. And starting with the operational level, I rose to the level of CEO. I was on the board. There, I did not write anything at all, PPT is the maximum into that. But here you have to write. You have to write articles. Whatever kind of you read, whatever you have reflected, you have to convert into writing. But the writing certain standards are there. And there we can't copy things into that. In industry, if you do something, you copy from Google, fine. But there is something called a research and writing ethics are there. And in fact, as a matter of fact, this time for the first time in your coursework 1, we are taking that as one subject, one course we are taking on a research ethics into that. Because this is as per the UGC new guidelines of December 2019. So there you must inculcate the habit of writing. But some of us, we have got inertia, we have to get out of that. We have to get out of that and start writing. And that is the hallmark of a researcher. You don't have a choice into that. So now I know that, yes, the time that was allocated to me by Dr. Rumna Bhattacharya was, only 10 to 15 minutes. I have taken more time. And, let me tell you, in industry when I was there, I was not talking so much. Let me tell you honestly. I was doing more of work. My results spoke by themselves into that. That is how, like you, I also had the distinction of, getting into something like top. Something like, top in the country, top in the region, top in the country, that kind of a thing, But there, those rewards have come with performance. But now, once you become a researcher, you have to communicate. The communication is through kind of a talking. Communication is through writing, so that other people get benefited into that. And now we are going, beyond our, domain of your company where you are working. You are going beyond the domain of the industry where you are working. You are going beyond the domain of the country where you are working into that. Like whatever knowledge that you are creating, that is something that, sort of you are disseminating across the world. Let me tell you, that's an exciting journey. And that is something exciting in education. And those of you that want to build a career to the education, that is something that is, self-fulfilling. You may not get money, but you get tons and tons of satisfaction, which is valued in terms of, millions of dollars or, crores or rupees into that. I'm telling you, in fact, that is something I'm really passionate about. I really love this field because of that. So now, in fact, I don't want to sort of take away much of your time. Otherwise, I will cut into, Dr. Hariharan's sort of a session. The only thing I want to tell you as a kind of a parting message today is you are embarking on a journey called the PhD. The PhD, it stands for, Doctor of Philosophy. And all of you, I think, maybe normally whenever I used to take the classes, I used to explain to them, why it is called Doctor of Philosophy, but now we don't have time. Maybe my other colleagues will tell you as to, sort of while all others, BTech it is called Bachelor of Technology, whereas MBA it is called a Business Administration. When you want to do PhD in Management, why is it called Philosophy? That is something some of my other colleagues will try and explain to you. But beyond that, I want to tell you the PhD, what it means to all of you that are embarking on the journey. The PhD, when I said, it is the first, it starts with the Doctor of Philosophy. Instead of P, what you need to have to get a PhD is the determination. Pahale cheez hona hai determination. Only then you can succeed in that. Then the second thing you need to have is the passion. You need to love it. Then after that, like you need to work hard. So my only kind of submission to all of you, my only message to all of you for today morning is, yes, all of you want to do excellent PhD. You want to earn PhD. Am I right? You don't want a giveaway, isn't it? Do any of you want a PhD gifted away? Yeah, because this university will not gift away PhD, let me tell you. If you want to get PhD by email, this is not the university. Yeah, so here you have to earn the PhD. If you want to earn the PhD, I'll repeat, you need to have the determination to get your PhD. You need to have the passion to get the PhD. Third, you have to work hard. Determination can be there, passion can be there, but after that you have to convert into reality. The reality will come only through hard work. And I'm sorry today, while we are participating in this, and my colleagues also we are trying to see on how this virtual reality we can try and convert into some level of augmented reality. And possibly come November, we'll try and see on how to make it as a mixed reality. Now the topic is mixed reality all over into that, to try and make it combined into that, I do understand, because whatever best we do, it cannot be, physical reality. The feelings, sentiments, all of them cannot be expressed, cannot be captured in this, that. I'm sorry about that. We are forced to do it because of the COVID. And thank you so much, for, listening to me early in the morning. And, and I also noticed that, Dr. Kishore sir had joined, and, maybe I'm sorry, sir, in fact, I did not recognize you. And, Dr. Kishore, Dr. Hariharan, sort of, these are all the legends. Sort of, they are all the seasoned researchers we have got. And please also understand that, sort of, they all come from similar backgrounds like me. Dr. Hariharan comes with, a lot of years coming from the industry, the steel industry. Similarly, Dr. Kishore comes with a lot of experience in the coal industry, in various areas into that. They come from very renowned organizations and they did pioneering research, and they are all there to support you. I should also tell you, they've got, excellent faculty members with us. And let me tell you, as I told you earlier, like the hallmark is, they are all enthusiastic and they are all there to support you, facilitate you. Come what may, whether it is morning, night or so, that they are all willing to work. Like Rumnaji works on 18 hours, 20 hours. So 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, it doesn't matter at all. I think that's how it works. Thank you all very much. And I wish all of you a fulfilling journey from now. A journey where, we are there to facilitate and, see that, आपका मंजिल अब तो हासिल करने के वास्ते हम सभी लोग तैयार हैं. But a journey आपका है. Please remember, this is your journey. We are there to facilitate that. Thank you all very much, and I wish all of you all the best. And if time permits, maybe I think any of my kind of colleagues, I do understand, Rumnaji, and I thought it is important that we spend some time instead of half an hour. Maybe it has.
No, it's all right, sir.
Yeah, I think maybe another 15 minutes also if you can extend, maybe थोड़ा सा reschedule करना है तो करेंगे बाकी sessions को.
Sir, कर लेंगे.
We also want to listen to a few of you. Maybe, it may not, time may not permit to listen to all of you because of that, my request is maybe something like 3-4 of you. Don't take much time because, maybe spend 2 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes, introduce yourself and tell us, why you want to do PhD in this university, in one of the remote corners, we are based in Ranchi. Why are you coming all the way there into that, and physically? And then, sort of, I think, that is what I think if you can share with us, that would be great. Just a couple of minutes, more than that, not more than that. Yeah.
Good morning to all of you. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, very good morning, Mr. Jubair. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Rao and Dr. Kishore, I could see Madam Rumna, I could see Mr. Hariharan. So good morning to all of you and all the scholars who are now kind of colleagues. I could see 22 of them. So it is really exciting to be here. As you mentioned in your introductory speech that I belong to Srinagar JNK. I am presently heading JNK Bank as MD and CEO. So it is exciting to be part of this elite group. And I always, right from when I was in a college, I always had that I should learn, and I also always felt that learning is an endless process, that you have to learn from cradle to grave. So I have never stopped learning. I have 3 master's degrees, and in the process, and I always felt that this PhD is missing. So I got an opportunity through this university when I got one of the mails that if I am interested, I filled the application form and then went through all this written test, and then also a very, very intense interview. It was although not so, as Mr. Rao rightly told that there was a lot of grilling on that day. So I could recall my.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offended. The intention was not to offend any of you, but
no, not. But
we tried to get the best out of you. Yeah.
We loved it. It was as right now we all are feeling that we are students. We are our designations are apart and our roles are apart. But here, when we are here part of this group, we are students. We behave like students. We'll do what is expected from us. But what I feel that while doing the research, you get an opportunity to choose your field, to choose your subject, what you want to do. And at the same time, we can contribute to our field of study. And that is the best part of it. At the same time, we can have interaction among ourselves. We can go to attend some of the conferences, international conferences, if time permits and COVID permits. But really, I'm really excited to be part of this program, and the kind of support we have seen right from filling up the application till now. It is amazing. I actually thank each one of you for making this happen despite all the challenges we have because of COVID, and that is why these virtual classes are happening. And I thank each one of you from the core of my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dubey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Professor Rao, and a very good morning to respected faculty members, Professor Kishore, Professor Hariharan, and all other seniors. It's a fantastic experience so far interacting with your university. Great learning so far, and we look forward to much more interactive sessions, much more interesting interactions, and going in this journey of mine. My name is Joydeep Mukherjee, roughly 29 years of experience in various multinationals, including 19 years in MNCs and 10 years as finance controller of the Tata Group. I am presently working as the CFO, as Chief Financial Officer of a group company of the world famous Essilor Luxottica. We manufacture spectacle lenses. So that's what we manufacture whole world wide. And as a CFO of the Indian company, I am also the CFO of the Dubai entity, the CFO of the company in Toronto, Canada, and also the CFO of the company in New Jersey, United States. So I am a chartered accountant and a cost accountant and an alumni of the Singapore University. I was there as here. I want to learn a lot from respected faculty members. A lot of things to learn, and the reason why I want to do research is to get into the depth, to understand the subject in greater depth and improve my knowledge. So as very rightly said by Mr. Zubair Iqbal, I completely agree with his views that it's a learning. A complete journey is all about learning and improving yourself, in getting into the greater depths, and therefore move forward. So would like to contribute more in the industry after completing this PhD program, and the knowledge that I will acquire, the depth of knowledge that I will acquire would definitely help me to excel further in problem solving, in taking decisions better, and having technology on my side. I'm sure I would be able to do justice. I wish all the best to all fellow participants in this journey along with me, and look forward to very, very exciting sessions with all of you, especially the advantage of having such fantastic faculty members of this university. It will be a brilliant experience. Thanks to all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jaideep Mukherjee. Incidentally, like Mr. Jaideep Mukherjee, despite his personal problems, he had, sort of various health problems in his family. And despite all those constraints, he attended the person interview on that day, which I got to know later, and I really empathize with him. Because sort of somebody else in his place, would have sort of succumbed to that kind of mental pressures. I think, it's really, in fact, we are really sort of, so delighted to have, people like Jaideep Mukherjee to joining us, despite those constraints. In fact, later on I got to know about that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I hope that things are all right. Like Mr. Jaideep Mukherjee.
Yes, the COVID issues of so many family members are now much better. Some of them have come back from hospital. They were in intensive care with serious ventilation and issues. But the COVID has caught up with my near family members, and now things are much better. My house was sealed for quite some time. It was going through very, very tough situations in between. But then, with the grace of God, things are much better today.
It's great. It's the tough people that last. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sort of any other caller would like to.
Good morning, everybody. And first of all, I would like to spend just 1 minute, and I will not speak about myself, but I'll speak about my experience with IUJ. I started my experience with Dr. Rumla when I called her up, and the moment that experience that I had, the empathy that I had, it continued right in my interview as well. And I'm not saying just because I have to say this, my interview was an experience. I had an experience. Every moment of that experience was full of empathy, whether it was Professor Rao, whether it was Professor Kishore, or it was Professor Hariharan. And that's something which I'm carrying with me each day. So this is the most amazing thing that you all have given. Thank you very much. And to all the peers, I wish to learn with you all, collaborate, and come up and finish the journey. A wonderful, wonderful introductory speech, sir. I think that's a motivation that we wanted. A big thank you to all the university members. And a big
thank you so much, Mr. Prem Prakash Dayal. For the benefit of our other participants, why don't you tell them, like which company you are working and what is your role? You
Sure.
do not tell us other things.
Yes, sir. So I work for the Tata Consultancy Services, and my base location is Kolkata, but at the moment I'm in Ranchi, so very close to the university. And
Okay, thank you so
and
much.
I'll definitely see you guys.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
I think
Good morning, Professor Rao.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would take the opportunity of first of all agreeing to Mr. Dayal of what he said about the experience. I have been in contact with IUJ for about more than a year now, and I cannot thank enough Dr. Rumna for her support in first of all getting me through the process. Thanks to my job role and travel requirements, I was delayed, but she ensured that even in the midst of all the madness, I get things done. So thank you so very much. Similarly, Professor Rao, I think the best part I have seen other universities, not just through my collaborative relationships, but also as student, the approachability, the open door culture that we see in our corporate world is very much reflected in IOG as well. I think I have reached out to Professor Rao in spite of his position. I've taken the liberty of pinging him in the morning, evening, any day, and I have always got instant response from him. So, and that has been the same kind of interactions I have seen with the other members of the faculty. So that's the experience. I completely agree. I think with Mr. Dayal, that what he said prompted me to jump in and only augment to what he said. So yes, thank you very much.
Simi, why don't you just give a sentence or word about where you are working and what is your role? Maybe that's for the benefit of our scholars.
Sure. So I work for IBM. I'm based in London. I head up their European Security Strategy, Risk and Compliance Department. I have roughly about, there are 200 people in the team. My primary focus is, of course, cybersecurity and getting it to the board level, enhancing the understanding of cybersecurity being not a technology problem anymore. It is a problem of the boardroom. So I have got Mr. Mukherjee here. It is the likes of him that I talk to on a regular basis to help our CISOs get the funding from them and answer their difficult questions.
Completely agree. This is a boardroom topic. The cybersecurity, no longer technology. Yeah.
Absolutely, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where Simi is involved. Simi, she does advisory and consulting services at the board level for top corporations in the world. In fact, we are so proud that we have accomplished people like her to be part of this team. In fact, apart from that, Simi Deb also has helped us. We also conducted a webinar on the cybersecurity and particularly beaming at the students, because that time when I requested her not to use high-flying kind of stuff at a ground level, she talked, and where kind of all the students are impressed, and we look forward to work with all of you like that, so that this throws open a lot of opportunities for you, not only for the PhD program, it is an industry academic connect, how we can connect for the benefit of the students and for the benefit of the society. I think we look forward to that kind of opportunities with every one of them. In fact, incidentally, on 16th, we are going to have a webinar on the artificial intelligence. There again, we are able to get, an youngster is into the kind of a late 30s. He is a visiting professor at the Carnegie Mellon, and he did PhD in the area of the artificial intelligence and machine learning, and particularly with the medical image processing. And such an accomplished person we are able to get for the 16th. Again, he'll be talking at the level of the students, though he's got so much of experience. Yeah. So anybody else? I think just maybe one or two I think we'll take, and after that.
Hi sir, this is Pradeep Dwari, and I'm currently joining in from Devghar, but I have around 20-23 years of experience all across the globe with top banking companies like HSBC, ICICI Bank. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Yeah.
Yes. So HSBC, ICICI Bank, and the last organization was JP Morgan Chase. Now I'm doing a freelance with Singapore companies, wherein I'm suggesting and consulting them about the IT transformation, digital transformation, and how to make a new sort of banking, the branchless banking or APIs banking, whatever you call these days. So now coming to the experience I got with my experience with other universities, other top management institutes as well, the kind of professionalism I saw, I could correlate it with any of the top organizations in the world which I've worked. So from that perspective, the kind of proactiveness and anticipation of the need, we got the response that way. So before we think in our mind, we get a call either from Dr. Rumna and the kind of responses from Sir and yourself. So I'm really thankful, and interview also was a very, very eye-opener, because the kind of insight I got in that interview, I could just understood that yes, that is a kind of professionalism I'll be seeing in the institute. Because generally you associate anybody for that matter, associate learning institute with kind of, okay, it will go into a different mode and all. But the kind of response I got, it was just similar and synchronous to what I have seen across the world during my tenure in Europe, during my tenure in Africa. So it's great. I'm looking forward for the journey, and I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot of things. So, sir, thank you everyone, faculty members and all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think right now, I think time seems to be running out. And maybe in the future sessions, I think, definitely we need to have some more opportunities. With these few things, thank you all very much. And perhaps I think, I got to sort of log out because I got a few other things to do. And over to sort of Dr. Rumna Bhattacharya and my team. Thank you very much. And namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you.
I wish all of you all the best.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir.
Namaskar, sir.
Yeah. Please, sir, allow me to
Thank you, sir.
leave the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
I'll be in touch with you continuously.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
You all help so that you all let climb and cliff of success. Hope your honest endeavor should and shall be our best guidelines. Our supervisory role is always with you all and endured scholars as usual in perpetuality. Thanks to all of you and those who all have attended the inaugural session. Now we switch off to our actual class session